Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and in this week's tutorial I am going to share with you a highly requested move, which is the no-handed smear. Now, I believe that I learned this move from the incredible Katarina Sutton at Hoop Camp quite a few years back, and she was totally rocking this move. We learned it in her Breathing Through Breaks workshop, which I highly, highly recommend. If you ever get a chance to connect with her and learn from her, then it will be totally life-changing for you as a hooper. Anyway, last week and the week before, I did some tutorials on a move that is called, or commonly referred to as the smear, where it comes to the front, the side, the back, the side, using the hands on the inside of the hoop. And we also did some other variations where you can totally like rock it out. But this week, we are going to look at a variation where the hoop moves in a similar kind of way around the body, front side, back side, but with the elbows or using a contact move and not your hands. So you really have to start to feel into your hoop dance groove and flow. I highly recommend closing your eyes actually to feel into this rather than try to fully understand it logically and break it down. It's very much a grooving move. So let's roll into it. You can use any size hoop that you love. I just happen to be using a Super Hooper polypro right now. Okay, so first of all, without much of the groove and the flow that you really need for this move, I'm going to break it down step by step. So it's called a no-handed smear or a no-hand smear or sometimes a wobble smear. Hoop names, so many of them. So you're not going to use your hands. So here we go. Let's break it down. This is not a transition into the move. It's just actually how to do the move. So if you find the fleshy part on the top, when you bend your arm, there's like points on the top of your elbow, your forearm, and your upper arm. The hoop is going to kind of hang out there. You're going to find some sweet spots for you, the shape of your arm, your body, and the pace of your move. And you'll notice that the hoop is hanging down the back. You must be inside your hoop. If your hoop is out here, then it's going to be a completely different move, which could also be cool, but just different. So get inside your hoop, raise the hoop up at the front, and pop one elbow in. Now, whatever elbow you are using, whatever side, you're going to use that elbow to drive to the back. So you're really going to open up. And just, you want to kind of keep a ledge so that the hoop stays up. If you put your elbow down, obviously the hoop is going to fall down. So you're going from not too high, not too low, finding a really nice comfy level for your hoop and for your elbow. So let's go inside the hoop, elbows at the front, roll it around to the back. Now, because it's no-handed, we're trying not to grab onto it, but if you have to in the beginning, it's totally fine. I tend to use the outside of my wrist or my hand as a contact point. Now, at this point here, you're going to need to feel into it because you're probably not going to be able to turn around and have a look. So what happens is the hoop comes and it's going to connect with the opposite elbow, and then that elbow is going to bring it around to the front. Check it out. We're going to replace elbows. It is much easier and the hoop is in motion. So at the back, bring the hoop around, really contact, feel into all the little points that you need to manipulate the hoop without using your hands. Elbow comes up and brings it around to the side. Now, there is another contact point or contact points that you use for this move, and it is your body. You will notice maybe that the hoop is also touching, like possibly right now the front of your thigh. As you bring it around, it's like the back of your thigh, your hips, depending on the size of your hoop. So once you start to build momentum with elbow to elbow at the front, take it around, elbow to elbow at the back, or top of the arm, then you can also start to use the outside of your hips or your legs to help move the hoop around. So you will notice that I kind of pick my feet up a little and try not to drop my hoop. So I'm picking my feet up off the floor slightly. I don't want to bring my legs up too high to push the hoop off momentum. It can be quite a fragile move. So you really have to find that center groove. As you're bringing the elbows around, then you're also pushing the hips slightly from side to side or bringing the thighs up and back. So really play into it. Here is a troubleshooting tip though, and something that I find happens to me a lot is when I bring the hoop around, it will often come up onto my neck. And this is because I'm not giving the hoop another contact point. I'm really just trying to get it around my body without dropping it. So as you bring the hoop around, if you're finding that it's kind of rolling up onto your shoulder or your neck, just really make sure, and you might need to do some stretching or some flexibility practices here, that you're connecting or you're finding that point where it can go onto the arm so that you bring the hoop around rather than, like I do, sometimes pushing it up onto the neck. So one of the things that we all love most about the hoop is that it is a circle and it goes both ways, both directions. So let's have a little look at what it might take to take this move, the no-handed smear, from one side and then to the other. You could call this a wobble break, a wobble pop, you can call it whatever you want. So let's get into the groove. We're going to go from the front to the back. I'm just going to take it slow, not too much groove here. And then the next time the hoop comes around to the front, I'm going to raise my elbow a little bit higher and let the hoop hang down the back so that it kind of gives it a stall or a break. It's going to stop in this position. And then I'm going to reverse the whole motion. So now I'm going in the opposite direction. And you could, with momentum, you could just go from the front, around, back around. And notice that I'm just intuitively using my body, because even if you don't tap into the sensation straight away, you will feel that the hoop is on your legs. So you'll probably most naturally want to also push the hoop around with your legs. If that's not happening, if you feel like you don't have any movement, then you're going to kind of find it really hard to just use your upper body. So try both the round and the breaks. It's kind of fun too without the hoop. It's like a really cool dance move. So how did this one feel for you? Totally groovy, I bet. It will definitely bring new sensation and new movement into your body. And don't forget to incorporate it with lots of other practices, making sure that you're warming up the spine and the body so that you can really feel into moves like this, where it becomes a full body hoop dance. And of course, don't forget to check out Katarina Sutton. You can find her miraculous and gorgeous hoop style online all over the place. I will try and pop some links below for you. If you are rocking out this move or you found some really cool variations, then please link me on Instagram. I am Deanne Love XO. I love to see your hooping. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you like this kind of video, then you can give it a thumbs up because it lets me know that you love it and I can create more for you. I will see you over on HOOPLOVERS.tv. Let's go and hang out there. Big hoop love from me to you. Mwah.